there. This is Beth, owner of Homegrown Fitness, and I'm here with Steve and Zach, who are business owners and partners for Westenberg Financial. And I'm going to have Steve and Zach introduce themselves. So Steve can go first.
Thanks, Beth.
Sorry.
I'm Steve Westenberg, Westenberg Financial, based here in O'Connell, Wisconsin. And I've been a financial advisor for the last 35 years. And we work with small businesses, individuals, people looking to retire, people are 20, 30 years out from retirement, and get them to the end goal that they tell us they want to meet.
And I'm Zach Westenberg, Steve's business partner. I've been an advisor for about the last 9.5 years. First 8 years I spent out in Arizona working for an investment firm there. And I moved back here to Wisconsin to partner with Steve, who's also my dad.
Woohoo!
Family business rocks.
Yes. How did you guys get to be in this business? So Steve, with you starting it, how did you get to be where you are in this business? Like, what ultimately made you become a financial advisor?
Well, one thing that always interested me, and I actually graduated from UW Oshkosh with a education degree. Never taught a day in my life. I just realized that it wasn't really something I wanted to do, and as fate would allow, ended up into this business. Started out as a captive agent selling mostly life insurance, and that was in the late 80s, early 90s, and that's when mutual funds and 401ks were really starting to evolve, and that's where I wanted to be. And just started with 0 clients, 0 book of business, just went out, knocked on a lot of doors, made a lot of phone calls, set up a lot of appointments, and built a practice to what it is today. And so just general interest. I mean, we love helping people. We love everything market related, and we love growing money and making money. And it's just, it should be everybody's goal. Otherwise, you're going to be live on the streets. But yeah, so it's just helping people with their financial needs, mostly investment related, whether they're starting at 0 or they're retiring from a 30-year career with $1 million in a 401k. So we handle it all, and that's the fun part.
How about you, Zach?
How I got started?
Yeah.
So I guess just growing up around the business, seeing Steve work with clients, talk with clients, seeing the impact that he made, especially being in a small community. Word gets out, especially when you do right and do the right thing for clients. It got back to me as I was growing up. I would see somebody and they'd say, "Hey, your dad helped me with X, Y, Z," and I just thought that was really cool, really impactful. And then
Your hero. You can put it that way.
And then I went to college at Oshkosh, where you also went.
Yes,
so 3
yes.
Titans in the room here.
Woo!
Titan Nation, baby.
This is an ad-free one too.
And went for finance because I was already interested in it. Then kind of like my sophomore year, I decided I wanted to do something different, go somewhere else. So applied to jobs all across the country, mostly in warm areas. Fell in love with Arizona during spring training in March and stuff, and forgot what it'd be like moving down in June. But so went for 8 years down there, learned the business, learned the ropes, and then moved back here. But I think just the impact that financial advisors and Steve has had on clients really kind of steered me and motivated me to go down this route.
Would you say, do you think like business is different in Arizona with everything there compared to like here in Wisconsin, and or would you say it's all the same?
No, I think the big difference is in Arizona is our second largest book of business. So we have most clients in Wisconsin, obviously, and then Arizona, along with like 14 other states we have clients in.
Wow.
But I think what's really interesting is working with clients all across the country, and then Arizona compared to Wisconsin, just 2 very different states, is just the occupations that our clients have.
Okay.
So here we have farmers and stuff that are our clients, and in Arizona, just the agriculture and business is less than here. So you just have different conversations with clients based on kind of their different upbringings, different hobbies. I don't talk a lot of ice fishing with people in Arizona, but
More hiking.
right. So I think it's having clients all across the country is just very interesting to see what they're running into. Some have different challenges, some have the same challenges, but just that different conversation with clients all across the country is energizing.
Yeah. So the reason why we're coming together today is because I wanted to elaborate on how fitness professionals such as myself and financial advisors are very similar, like-minded individuals on really trying to create a plan for success. And yes, they may be long-term. As a fitness professional, we're also looking at long-term as well. So focusing on the different behaviors of individuals, their priorities, their works, careers, their overall goals, and just helping them creating a plan. So like as a fitness professional, I may be working on a fitness plan, nutrition plan with an individual where financial advisors are doing more of the financial approach. So like, what is your approach if you have somebody come in the first of the year and want to create a better financial outlook for themselves moving forward and make that shift? Where do you guys begin in that plan?
Believe it or not, it just starts with a conversation like this. It's that simple. And if it's a new client or someone that was referred to us, we start just with a conversation and find out what their goals are, where they're at, where they want to go financially, and we tell them how we manage money. And if it would be a fit, and then we dig deeper into, do a risk analysis to see, are they conservative? Are they aggressive? Are they moderate growth? Just see where they fit in the realm, and we tailor a portfolio for them to get them where they want to go. And but it all starts with a conversation. And I always tell people, talk is cheap. Come on in and talk. We don't know if we can help you. We can't help everybody. It's just like in your profession, you can't help everybody, but
you try your best.
You try, and you want to, do your part to help be a positive impact on their life financially, and you physically, and but it all starts with a conversation. Just like when you meet with a client, right? They come through the door, and you want. Where are you at? Where do you want to go? These are the steps we have to take to get you there. So there's a lot of similarities to what you do and what we do.
I love the conversation pieces too. Like when you're sitting down with a person, you can learn so much in 30 minutes or more. They can break down with you, or they can give you their whole life story. And then just sitting down with somebody and them opening up to you in those 30 minutes, it's like, wow, they really need somebody. They need somebody to help guide them on these avenues. But then you have other individuals who sit down and they sound like they have everything. It's just they now need to have it organized for them and where to like block it within their schedules or, creating that plan. But I love, like you said, it's the conversations. You get to learn so much about so many different individuals and their life.
This is the emotional room. This is in Zach's first week when he came back from Arizona and joined. We were meeting with clients. In his first week, we had 2 people in tears here. But ironically, both because they hated their jobs. And
there you go.
Not because of us.
Not because of us. Yes, exactly. I should clarify that. But they, just talking, they broke down about they didn't like what they were doing or who they were working for, and it's a tough spot to be in when you're 45, 50 years old, and you think, if I were to leave this toxic environment and go to someplace else, you take probably a financial step backwards, but physically and emotionally it's probably a better move. And so there's a lot of dynamics that you have to weigh in that. But but it all starts with a conversation. And like I always tell people, talk is cheap. We don't know if we can help you unless you come in and talk. So
how do you start one of those conversations? Like, what is like your typical, you come in, you sit down with somebody, like, how do you even just start it? How are you? Like, how's your day type thing?
First of all, I want to know, we want to know about them.
Yeah.
Are you married? Do you have kids? Do you have grandkids? A significant other? Tell tell us about you. Tell us about your life.
To figure out what motivates them.
Yeah.
Like financially, what motivates them? Do they want to travel? Do they have hunting hobbies, fishing hobbies?
Mhm.
Like what? All it costs money.
Yeah.
So you just got to figure out what motivates them, and then conversations go from there.
They spike, they grow.
Yeah.
I like that. What motivates them and what drives them. Again, very similar. Like, what is motivating you to move your body? So everybody has a different goal and an insight that drives them. Powering through the wellness. So let's talk about when you guys are creating a plan, do you hear fitness or health part of people's plan when you're creating and building a program for them, a financial stability? Like in my eyes, I feel like everybody should have almost like a wellness plan, like a fitness plan. Life is going to throw different obstacles at you. There's going to be a lot of different barriers. People can't afford gym memberships. And, the start of the new year, that's what people want, is that gym membership. And how can we implement this, once a month as a subscription? Like where does all that lie in a plan? Do you guys hear people have fitness in their priorities plan, in their hobbies?
Some people do.
That's good. I like to hear that.
Some people want to travel. They want to get out and do stuff while they're physically capable. Before all of a sudden their health starts to break down and stuff. So people want to get out and be active when they can, while they can. Yeah. I
think that's a big key factor. I think for a lot of individuals, coming into the new year, they have this mindset. And if you're trying to create that financial stability, like being healthier is more expensive, but is it really more expensive? You have to also look at the other side of that. Like if you're going to be eating a bunch of junk food, excuse my language, if you're going to be eating a lot of like crap foods, you have to look at what's happening with inside of your body too. So like healthier eating is not really more expensive. It's just creating, again, that plan. You have to put time aside to pre-prep foods, to put 3 meals together in order to keep it less expensive. And if it's a priority to maintain your health, physical health, I feel like that should be put into a financial plan, into that budget.
Yeah, I agree. And I think health and wealth, if you have one and not the other, as you reach retirement age, you could be very wealthy, but if you don't have the health to enjoy your wealth, what did you accomplish? So the two really go hand in hand. And as you age, being the oldest one, you realize how much health is important, because we want to travel, Debbie and I, and we want to be active with the grandkids. And on the same token, it takes money to do all that stuff. So that's where the health and wealth really go hand in hand. So I wish people actually would focus more on their health aspect of it, because let's face it, as we get older, you lose muscle mass, you lose a lot of things that if you don't try to build that up. But we have a statistic here that we use when we meet with clients. A lot of them don't realize it, but people always misjudge how long they're going to live. They always think they're going to live far less long than what they do. But if we meet with a couple and they're both 65, the likelihood that one of them are going to reach age 90, right?
Yeah,
is what it's a little statistic that we use here. But I think it's like there's over a 50% chance that at least one of the spouses are going to live until they're 90.
Yeah.
So. Yeah.
My grandma just turned 87. Woo! Yeah. And she is just a hoot.
So you have to prepare for that. And, I love it when the men are like, oh, she's going to die before me, or I'm going to die before her. And we take steps to protect the wife and the grandma, so that if that is the case, and statistically that is the case, the man's going to live. There's a lot of reasons for that, but that's a different episode.
That's a different episode.
But we take steps to ensure that the surviving spouse has the money there for them to live into their 90s. So But yeah, 90 is not that old nowadays. I mean,
No.
you hear more and more people living till they're 100. So, but yeah, if you can have the health and the wealth, that's the best combination.
Yeah. And health, it's like, it's not just fitness, it's a combination of spiritual, mental, physical, financial, I believe. How's your social outings? Are you being mindful during and intentional? So I feel like that wellness umbrella of health it covers so many other different dimensions. And I really try to educate my clients on that when they meet with me. Because I mean, my focus is that fitness professional, fitness coaching. I'm going to sit down, I'm going to give them a therapy session if they need it, a counseling session. But I'm going to also direct and guide them towards those other dimensions of wellness, because there's other people that specialize in those areas, and I'm not one of them. Talking about all of the health, let's go into the grocery store aspect. There's that myth out there that healthier foods is more expensive than, the cheaper foods, which I don't believe is true. Are you going to put a little bit more money towards the healthier foods? Probably, because fresh foods aren't going to last as long. But I don't think people realize, like, you can also go frozen. And if you have to go canned, you can look at the ingredients in the can, make sure there's not extra sodium in there, make sure there's not corn syrup in there. It's really educating yourself when you're going in. And I think you guys can relate to that on when people are coming in to see you guys. It's all about educating on them, like on other avenues of the financial stability side of things. So if they're concerned about, like, oh, I can't afford this, they probably can. They just need to be educated on something specific.
Well, there's the line, you can't afford not to either,
Yes,
right?
yes.
And so sometimes things do come with a cost, whether it's financial or health-wise, but there's big benefits for it too.
Mhm.
So, and some of that stuff you don't see initially, it's down the road. It's over the next 5 and 10 years. So when Zach and I talk to clients, everything is more on a long-term basis.
Mhm.
We're not, we're not day traders. We're not short-term people. We think long-term, and people should think that way about their health as well. It's like you're not going to go from your current state to looking like Hulk Hogan in 3 months, right?
Yes.
I mean, but it's a lifestyle, and it should be viewed for a decade or two, not
Mhm.
just oh my gosh, I haven't seen any results in 3 months,
Right.
and so I'm either gonna not work with those two guys or not work with Beth because I haven't seen results in 3 months.
Mhm.
It's just not the right mindset. You have to take it from a long-term approach.
Yeah.
Mm.
Go ahead.
I would say, and I think it comes to planning a lot too. Like,
Yeah.
if you plan your meals ahead of time, you're less likely to be in a pinch and have to go buy something
Yeah.
that's more expensive or that is expensive. Like, I can see McDonald's over
I was
there.
gonna say, I can see the drive-through.
They do have a straight
Yeah.
shot of McDonald's
The drive-through
from their
is
window.
full.
Yeah. And when I don't plan, I bring lunch or something. I'm in a bind or I'm short on time. Like, how to go? Like, it's not cheap to go there,
Yeah.
especially if you
Oh my God. And
if you make it a habit. So I think it all comes down to planning, and then, like Steve was saying, it's also consistency. Like,
right.
you have to stick with the financial goal, your financial long-term goal. Same thing with fitness. Like,
Mhm.
you're not going to sign up for a gym membership, and that's the key to
Like going
success.
out, I agree with that. Like, so I was just saying earlier on how you go to a restaurant, you can get a ribeye steak, a baked potato, and a little half cup of steamed vegetables, and that meal could probably cost you like 36 to 40 bucks, right? But then you go to the grocery store, you buy your own ribeye, which can range from anywhere from $18 to $25 based on the net weight, and then you have russet potatoes, which could have came from a gardener here in town, so either free to you as a gift, or a pound of potatoes is maybe like $4, and then you got frozen vegetables. You don't have to go fresh. You can get a huge bag of frozen broccoli for like maybe $8, and boom, you just had 2 plates of ribeye steak, some potato, and your vegetable, and that alone is going to be maybe $18 for both of you.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I feel like it can go a long way when you plan in advance like that. And like off the top of my head, I'm like relating quality. Like, people need to understand, like, you're going to pay for quality. And if you want quality, like, you're not going to want to go to TJ Maxx and buy some cheap leggings because they will be see-through. Heads up, women and men out there. You don't want see-through leggings, okay? And you want leggings that are going to last you a long time. So, like, you're obviously going to pay more for quality.
That might be why you got banned from the
Yeah. Both of these two work out. No more of those cheap leggings.
Okay, I'll try.
So it's like you said, it's the planning aspect. People need to understand they have to set time aside, and people don't want to give up their time. And that's the difficult thing of educating them and trying to switch that mindset and that behavior over. It's you have to be able to give up some time. Now, like on Sunday, you give up 3 hours of your time just to prep out your week. And I'm pushing it. I mean, I got 3 kids at home. I need all the time I can get on a Sunday because I'm going to have multiple interruptions. Okay. So like if you give yourself some prep time just to prep maybe 2 to 3 meals, like boom, your dishes are done for the week. Your meals are planned. You have to look at that. And yes, it's time consuming and it's draining energy wise, but the more that you do it, you're only going to benefit yourself long-term and down the road. Is my thought process on that. And I think the same thing for you guys with the financial planning. So I've been working with Steve now since 2000, since I've owned my own entity. And I've come a long way. I've had a lot of different barriers. My life shifted. When I had my firstborn, I had an opportunity to work with another company, and then COVID hit, which then opened another door for me to become my own entity. But there came a lot of obstacles for me mentally and financially, just to refine my way, my balance, and manage my finances, because it was different revenue. I had a lot of different distractions coming in. I was learning how to navigate my own business. And with the help of Steve and Zach, you got Steve sitting me down, helping me with a retirement plan, and then Zach giving me coaching on how to put my Excel spreadsheets, because that is, I'm still learning that. But like, I feel like this past year, I've done a really good job on like actually tracking it all and separating it into different categories. Because I mean, and I had to learn how to do that. I had to educate myself on how to do more of that fancy Excel stuff, because you learn it in high school and you learn a little bit in college, but you're not going to continue it if you're not going to use it. I am more of that one-on-one individual person where I like to work with the person. I'm not good on behind the computer. I'm getting better, but it's like you have to learn how to navigate through the shifts of life, because you never know what obstacle is going to be there. So
full disclosure, Beth, you've been working with Debbie and I for how long?
Well, since 2000.
7 years?
Yeah.
7 years?
Yeah. And it was a hard one to get him. I mean, he used to come in and be like, well, you got an issue. I know how to help that. I know somebody pretty good to help relieve any discomfort in those legs of yours.
You create a lot of discomfort.
I do. I create a lot of tension.
She's actually been on a personal vendetta to try to kill me the last 7 years. But no.
I'm just working on his son now.
Yeah. But,
slowly.
Like a lot of either financial, health or wealth, a lot of the keys to success is just implementing the small changes, right? Mm-hmm. We're coming on January 1st here, where people are going to make goals for 2025, and some of them are just going to be unattainable, and then they give up, and then what do they say? Most gym memberships are by April they're not being used.
Yeah, so, January 12th is the New Year's resolution, like not give up. What's the word I'm looking for? It's like where people will just kind of fall off, like they went in too hard.
On it.
Yeah. They're like, I'm not making any progress. I'm burnt out. I'm tired.
So sometimes it's just making the little changes for what you do and what we do is just, in our case, maybe you should give a little bit more money to your Roth IRA. Maybe you should contribute more to your 401k so you get 100% of the match. Maybe we should take a look at moving this account to this account for potentially better returns with the same amount of risk. Things like that. So just making, maybe from a budget standpoint, maybe we should only go out one night a week versus 2 nights a week from a financial standpoint. Or with you, Beth, maybe instead of going to the gym 2 times a week, I should do 3 times a week. Or maybe I should hire a personal trainer to help me reach my goals, which I'm 100% in agreement with, Beth. So
Thank you.
yeah.
Thank you.
So I think hiring a personal trainer was one of our best things that we ever did, and you're one of the few that haven't moved to Phoenix or Arizona. So
Thank you.
You're hanging around. Yeah. So
Don't plan on going anytime soon.
Okay, yeah. So from our standpoint, it's one of the best things that we ever did. And Zach, you don't have a trainer, but you belong to a gym. And,
Yeah. Morning classes,
Yeah.
because I'm somebody that I need somebody to tell me what to do and somebody to say, all right, now do this type thing. Like I've gone to the YMCA just with the YMCA package, and I go there and I walk around in circles and I'm in and out, and I do like two things because somebody's using this, somebody's using that. So joining like a gym with a trainer to tell me what to do, to have it all set out where I just go in kind of brainless and mindless and just do it, has really helped me. And I mean, it's kind of like, maybe I could make some of my own workouts, but I don't have the time, I don't have the expertise. So hiring a professional,
you'd rather put your energy and focus elsewhere where somebody else
that's not my strength.
Right. Yeah.
Creating my own meal plan or my own workout every single morning is not my strength. It's not what I enjoy, which is why I pay for a gym membership and I go to the daily classes, because it's just not my jam. I don't enjoy trying to create a workout every single day.
Isn't it so much nicer just going there, changing into your tennis shoes, and you just line up and somebody tells you what to do?
Yeah. We're going to start with some push-ups.
You can just be mindless about it. You can complain, right?
Yeah. The eye rolling, complain all of it.
We can complain a little bit. Inchworm walkouts, not a fan. But so it just makes it so much easier working with somebody, and like Zach said, you could do it on your own, but you're not going to do it as effectively or efficiently as working with Zach and I or Beth. And I don't mean that as a arrogant statement. I know that as a fact, because we never really saw any results until we hired a personal trainer and committed to going to classes. And it's probably time to dial the diet back in and stuff a little bit, but next week, January 1st.
I got lots of things coming.
I'm going to lose 40 pounds in the first month. But you know what I'm saying. It's just working with a professional. And that's why a lot of people use a tax professional. That's why we have
specialists in the healthcare industry, right? Like you wouldn't go see a throat doctor for your heart condition.
Correct.
You would go see a heart specialist.
Right. And I think it makes so much sense. And rather than, we see it all the time. People come in and after our conversation, and we get to a point where we're looking at their what they've done financially so far. Maybe they've left a few jobs and they have some 401ks out there that they're looking to consolidate into one account. But just where they're at, and it's like, oh my gosh, this isn't really where you should be. And without our set of eyes, it would just sit in those accounts for a long time. So it's just having another set of eyes, just like going to work out with Beth. She knows, after a while, you get to know our strengths and weaknesses, right? And my weaknesses far outweigh the strengths. So, hey,
you're so flexible.
You don't have to agree. But
maybe in schedules, but not physically.
but the point is that when you work with either Beth or us, Zach and I, we can spot those things. And one of them, I won't go into that.
But I think the accountability is part of it too. Like if I went to the gym, maybe I want to do 20 burpees, but maybe at 18 I'm pretty tired, so I would just stop at 18. But if you have a trainer looking at you, alongside of you, helping you out, you're going to do all 20.
And probably more.
Probably 20.
Probably bonus reps. There's probably going to be a few bonus reps in there.
But the same thing on the financial aspect. If you're contributing, 6% to your 401k, and Steve and I, after having a conversation, we understand your finances and your goals, and we say, maybe you should do 7% or 8%. And before they came in, they thought, I can't swing that, I can't do it. And then we encourage them to maybe do a little bit more, do a little bit more, and then they'll come in for the review and like, that was great. I don't even miss it coming on my paycheck.
Right.
And then it's going for their future, for their future retirement. So being able to push them, same thing as a trainer pushing you to do an extra push-up or extra pull-up, which are my least favorite things in the world. I'd rather do burpees and pull-ups.
Really? Oh my gosh.
But yeah, just having somebody kind of push you to that one step further than you would go on yourself. Same thing with the financial aspect.
Yeah. I think it's cool too. Well, I was just going to say, like, you guys know, like, they're constantly watching the markets. So if you're somebody who has no idea what's going on market-wise, maybe you do, but not to the extreme that these two do. It's really nice to have them in your back pocket that have your Roth, your 401k. They can be like, hey, did you see this in the market? Like, what are your thoughts if we were to do boom, 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 boom? And it's like, well, I don't know what my thoughts are, but how would you direct me? How would you guide me? Where would you take this? For my, well, you know, like, it's really neat to have that individual because they specialize in that. So
right. We also, just like you do, we provide accountability, right? So, you know, when we sit down with a client on an annual basis and say, did you get that will done yet? Did you increase your 401k? Did you, you got married? Did you change your name on that account? We provide, you know, some accountability as well, just like you do. It's like, hey, haven't seen you for a while. Where you been? You know, and just little gentle tugs and gentle reminders. Ultimately, it's the client's decision, right? They're going to do it.
It's their journey.
It's their journey. All we can do is help guide it. It takes them to actually enact it, and just like you can drive by the gym a lot of times, but if you don't pull in,
there she is again.
So it again, and now it helps a lot because Zach's been with me now for 18 months, and he had 8 years of experience out in Phoenix. That now there's two of us to talk to. So we've actually done a lot of divide and conquer where I couldn't do that before. I was only one person, right? You can only be in one place at one time. So now sometimes I'll meet with a client here and Zach will be outside the office on an appointment or vice versa. So we can, from a scalability standpoint, we can handle more people than what I could 18 months ago. So hence the book
which
of
is
business
exciting to see, like, people
exciting.
make that shift in financial stability and want that, like, that guidance.
Yeah.
I think that's really exciting to see.
From our standpoint, and there's nothing, at least, Zach will experience this, but when there's some of our clients where we're dealing now third generation.
Okay.
And we had grandma and grandpa, we had the parents, and now the children are coming through the system. So that's exciting, and just how you've made an impact on their lives over the last, some clients have been here 30 years, typically. And this isn't like a mafia thing that once you get here, you can't leave because you're free to go.
You're not leaving.
Yeah, but we have very low turnover rate or attrition rate. Generally, we find once people come here, they're here for they're here for the long term, the duration, and I think that's a testament to kind of how we deal with people and deal with business. And the other thing, Beth, you can relate to this. You have to do some hand holding along the way sometimes. Sometimes there's people take a step backwards in their journey, and you have to be there to support them. Where we really provide support is during market volatility, and when the markets start getting dicey. We just came up. This is post-election now, but leading up to the election, we got a ton of questions, a lot of phone calls from clients nervous about the election results. If they win or they win, what's it going to do to the market? How's it going to impact my portfolio? And we talk clients through that. And every client stayed fully invested, and every client was rewarded for doing so by the market. So generally, the best course of action is take no action. Just stick it through, and it will work out. So. But yeah, so that's really kind of what we do. It's our jam.
Yeah, that's your jam.
It's our jam.
What would you say are some simple steps as we come into like year 2025 for somebody who does want to, be like, I really want to get my finances in order. I have a few 401ks. I know you said, a free chat, like come in and chat with us for free. It doesn't hurt. What would you say like are a few simple steps to help break the barrier of making the initial phone call to come and chat with you guys? I say that because it's a barrier for people. It's like going to the gym. The hardest thing is like just walking through those doors. So
intimidating
because people can be embarrassed about their finances.
Yeah.
And they're embarrassed because they feel like they should be in a different situation than they are, but they're the ones who got themselves in that situation. You have to almost be accepting like, oh crap, like my behaviors got me to where I am today. And now I need to fix it. And I don't know where to start.
Yeah. Well, like I said, the start is just coming in or having a phone call. I think just realizing that Steve and I and you were just normal people who like to nerd out in our own little arena.
This is a no-judge zone for sure.
That's the exact word I was thinking of. We're not judgmental and we don't judge. Everyone, we take everybody at the place they're at.
Yeah.
And we'll work with them and get them to where they want to go. We have to be practical about it. And just like someone comes through the gym who's 40 pounds overweight and this and that, he's probably not going to be running a marathon in 2 months. You know what I mean?
Right.
Sometimes you just have to make some small incremental steps. And sometimes it's just building upon successes, you know? It's like, okay, this year I put in my full amount in my IRA. What else can I do? So take the small victories and they lead to big victories.
Yeah. And you're not competing against anybody. Same thing, like if you hire a personal trainer, you're kind of just competing against yourself. Like you have your own benchmark for how much you can bench or whatever you can do. Same thing, like on the finance side, like our 10 o'clock appointment isn't competing against our 11 o'clock appointment. They're in it's their own portfolio, their own retirement, their own financial situation type thing. And we take every client as they are, and like Steve said, where they are. So we have clients that range the whole spectrum from wealthy to not wealthy to we have clients that are newborns basically, and they have investment accounts all the way to 90-year-old clients. So we have clients that range a whole spectrum. So when people walk through our door, chances are we've had a conversation very similar to the conversation that we'll have with them. Although they're all unique, every situation's unique, but there's nothing that Steve hasn't seen in his 35 years. I haven't seen in my 9 years that will completely blindside us or put us in a situation.
We're ready for that challenge.
Yeah.
Yes, ready for that challenge. So if you guys are wanting to connect with them for your free consult with them, just read through the description below. You'll find both Steve and Zach's emails in there. I would definitely recommend it, especially coming into the new year. You can set up some, like Zach said, some kid investments. So my 3 kids do have an investments with Westenberg Financial. And I did that immediately when they were born. So when they turn 18, we can, navigate that. But definitely would recommend it just to have them in your back pocket. They specialize in the finance world. They are constantly watching the stock markets on the TV. So they know if something's going to happen. And I feel fully confident in both of them and support both of them and encourage you to meet with them. Do you guys have anything else to say?
I thank you for this opportunity.
Yeah, well, thank you guys for joining me.
Chatting, and it's been. By the way, we should tell people we built a new office. We're talking from our new office that we just moved in May. We're right on the corner of the industrial park here in Ocano, Wisconsin. The only
just down the road from McDonald's.
Just down the road, new building office.
Drive way past McDonald's.
But it all starts with a conversation, and it's as simple as that. So if you're on the fence, just call us. We'll set a time, and we'll just see where you're at by conversation.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please leave us any comments below, but otherwise, please reach out to Steve and Zach if you have any questions. Have a great day, you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.